The story of Job. Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why is this happening to me? You tried to do the right thing. You worked hard. You loved your family. You kept your faith. Yet everything still seemed to fall apart. If you've ever asked those questions, then you already understand part of Job's story. Job was a man who loved God. He lived with integrity. He cared deeply for his family. He was respected by everyone around him. His life was filled with blessings, a loving wife, healthy children, great wealth. It seemed like nothing could shake the life he had built. Then, in what felt like a single day, everything changed. A messenger arrived with terrible news. His oxen and donkeys had been stolen. Before Job could even process what he had heard, another messenger came running. Fire had destroyed his sheep and the servants who cared for them. Then another arrived. Raiders had attacked. His camels were gone. More servants had been killed. The bad news never stopped. Then came the message no parent should ever hear. A powerful wind had struck the house where all of Job's children were gathered. The house collapsed. Every one of them died. In a single day, Job lost his wealth, his children, his security, his future. Anyone looking at his life would have believed God had abandoned him. But even in unbearable grief, Job fell to the ground and worshipped. He said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." The suffering didn't end there. Soon, painful sores covered Job's entire body. Day and night, he lived in constant pain. Even the people closest to him struggled to understand. His own wife looked at him and said, "Curse God and die." Then his friends came. At first, they sat with him in silence. But eventually, they began accusing him. They believed that innocent people did not suffer like this. Surely Job had done something wrong. But they were wrong. Sometimes people see someone's pain and assume they know the reason. But not every storm is a punishment. Some storms become the place where faith grows deeper. Job cried. He questioned. He poured out his heart before God. He wanted answers. He wanted to understand. But even through all his questions, he never stopped seeking God. And when everything seemed silent, God finally answered, not by explaining every reason, not by revealing every detail, but by reminding Job that his wisdom reaches far beyond human understanding. Job realized that even when he couldn't understand God's plan, he could still trust God's character. In time, God restored Job. He healed him. He blessed him again. His life was rebuilt. But perhaps the greatest miracle was not everything God gave back. It was the faith Job discovered while he was still suffering. Maybe today you feel like Job. Maybe you've lost someone you love. Maybe you've lost your health, your job, your peace. Maybe you've prayed for answers and heard only silence. If that's where you are today, remember this. Not every unanswered question means God has abandoned you. Sometimes faith is not believing that life will always be easy. Sometimes faith is choosing to trust God, even when life makes no sense. Job lost almost everything, but he never lost the one who was walking beside him. Your suffering may not be the end of your story. The chapter you're living today is not the final chapter. God is still working, even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot understand it, even when everything feels broken. Because sometimes the greatest faith is born in the darkest valleys. If this story encouraged you, subscribe to Walk by Faith. Every week, we bring the Bible to life through powerful stories that remind us God is always working, even in our darkest moments. Remember, God is still writing your story. Until next time, keep walking by faith.